Hi, this is the Bratz Boys Club, and I am Jesse, and today I'm going to introduce you to another one of my Bratz Boys. This Bratz Boy is very weird and strange. I have to admit, I wasn't exactly looking for this one in particular at all. I had no idea about its existence. I came upon him while searching the Bratz Boys online when I did a Google search for images, and I didn't really know much about him. Actually, I didn't know anything at all. So let me actually clear that out. I had no idea about this one in particular, like nothing at all. So I, of course, have my fan page right here. And, oh, definitely, I've got a new shirt. So as you can tell, I've got a shirt because I'm a super fan of the Bratz Boys. And I was able to purchase this online at a seller's website for a really cheap price, and I'm totally excited about wearing it today with one of my Bratz Boys as I'm introducing him to you guys. But yes, so this is a new shirt. It looks pretty awesome, pretty cool, and I totally dig it. And I believe I have a second one as well. I purchased two. Then the other one is kind of like different, but it's nonetheless Bratz Boys with the Bratz Boys logo and the Bratz Boys picture, clip art, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, let's get that out of the way. Anyway, so this Bratz Boy is pretty much not that kind of like special in regards to accessories and the size of the box and the special make of the box. And of course, I had really no idea about him because I really was not looking into him at all. But I happened upon him online through Google Images, and I was kind of curious. He looked a little bit different than most of the other entries from what I'm looking at for this specific series and or collection. There's only one Bratz Boy for it. It doesn't mention any others, and it's really just odd looking. You're going to see in a minute why. And so, without further ado, the Bratz Boy that I'm going to introduce you today to is Cameron from the 2008 Neon Pop collection and her series. Once again, that is the 2008 Neon Pop collection and her series. I don't know much about him. The only thing I know about him is, like I said, he's a 2008 collection and her series Bratz Boy, and the name is Neon Pop for the collection and her series. I don't know anything more. I just thought when I came upon him online that he looked kind of different. I wasn't really interested in him because, like I said, he was one of those with a box that was too small, and there was not much in accessories. The box kind of looks still kind of okay, as opposed to the boxes we're getting now with them, but there was not much going on for him. It pretty much, the year 2008 was kind of like the mid 2000s when the Bratz line was starting to have some financial issues. There were some financial difficulties within the company because they were fighting some ludicrous, pathetic little lawsuits and attempts at sort of like stealing their idea from Mattel, that pathetic brand of disgusting looking dolls. So they were fighting these people in court, and so they had like no money to spend in the Bratz Boys dolls or the Bratz Girls dolls. But they did invest a lot more money in the Bratz Girls dolls as opposed to the Bratz Boys dolls. Anyway, so when I sort of like saw him for the first time, I thought he was really interesting. I was not really curious that much about him. I just sort of knew that he looked kind of different. He didn't look like my ordinary Bratz Boy dolls, and I'm going to tell you why. Most of the dolls that I have collected over, actually not over the years, but most of the dolls I've collected as of recently, and the ones I purchased myself from a retail price years ago, the first original 5, their styles were a little bit too, I like to say, 90s, where they would have like a pair of jeans that was extra baggy, and the shirts were like t-shirts with a shirt on the outside. And of course, the hair looks similar, but I never kind of saw anything like with leather pants that had a little tiny muscle shirt, and that was it. I'm kind of looking at a totally different kind of Bratz Boy here because I really didn't see this style before. This is the first time I bumped into it, aside from the ones I'm seeing now, like the collector, I believe from 2018, who has his own style as well, and he looks totally different. And of course, the Bratz Boys on the Mick, and let me see who else. I believe there was I Am Cameron from 2015, who also has a style that's kind of different. Um, and then of course the Masquerade, three Bratz Boys that were new to the collection and altogether new to the Bratz Boys crew. So I hadn't seen anything like this different for the Bratz Boys until I met Cameron from the Neon Pop collection from 2008. And I pretty much now love everything about his kind of little collection or series apparel. I love the tight muscle shirt. I love the little leather black pants. It looks like he also has that little chain on the side that looks really cute. That is really adorable. And then accessories, of course, he's going to have the classic and the kind of like trademark comb, and thankfully it's still stuck to the box. The one thing that is not, and as you can see, I think you saw it already when I was showing the side of the box, is the collector's card or the trade card that he came in with. I believe it must have been during the little trip to when he was shipped that it fell down. So the card is right there, right there. That's the collector's card, trade card for Cameron from the 2008 Neon Pop collection and her series. Other than that, it looks like Mr. Cameron only has these little things as accessories, which it looks like it's a little belt, another little necklace, a bracelet, and some sunglasses, aside from the collector's card or trade card. And that's pretty much it. Like I said, pretty much in the mid 2000s, they didn't have much money, so there were no accessories for the Bratz Boys. And if there were, then you had that. You had just a little bit of itty bitty things here, and then you have the aforementioned comb, which they all kind of have it. I think I bumped into one that probably doesn't have it, but I'm not really sure. I'm going to have to look into that. However, so you've got just pretty much little bits and pieces of it. And now to move on to the box. The box was sort of like starting to get a little bit smaller during the mid 2000s. So you would have a much smaller box. The design was sort of like the same. You had like the showcase, the clear showcase in front of the box showing you the Bratz Boy with the accessories and the classic comb. Of course, where the trade card used to be. So there was a clear case in the front for the box, and of course you had the cutout cardboard decorative here in the front with the Bratz Boys logo, and then the Neon Pop collection and her series name, and then of course the perfect and sexy and amazing and hot picture of the Bratz Boy himself, which is Cameron. So that is just excellent in itself. So I love that. That's like the kind of art that I love so much on these. I just love the way they do the little Bratz Boy art and picture on the side, whether it's a big one like this one or it's a small one. It just looks spectacular. I actually also love the color tones of the cardboard cutout background on it and the one in front. It looks like it's a mixture between violet, purple, pink, lots of different kinds of pinks, purples, and violets, and a little bit of a haze of blue somewhere in there. So I just really, 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 really love the decorative in the box and everything else, of course, now. And of course, without forgetting, there is the back of the box, which gives you pretty much of the same thing. You'll get a complete cardboard cutout shaped in the shape of the box, of course, and then it'll give you a large picture or photo of the Bratz Boy himself, which is Mr. Cameron, and it'll give you the Bratz Boys logo at the top. It'll also give you the collection inner series name, Neon Pop, of course, to one side, and the little tiny introduction, not even bio, but more like introduction of Mr. Cameron himself to the side, and his name, of course, somewhere here. I just really, really dig the color combination they've got for him here. It looks really incredible, really different, really edgy. I really dig it. I think it's really special, especially for its time back in 2008, when this would have been a little too much, or maybe they would have been pushing it too much. I just love it. I love it. I think it's different. I think it's unique. I think it's amazing. And I cannot think of not owning this one for my collection. I thought it was really special, so I had to have them. Like I said before in many of my videos, the price as a collectible was a little steep, and I was actually a little upset because once I found him and I purchased him, I found another one of him for let's say I got him for $100, and the other version was for $30. So I was a little upset that I had to purchase a $100 one versus a $30 one. However, the name on the title of the ad on the auction website had been misspelled, which is why the other one didn't show up when I typed in the name. And this one did show up because it was spelled correctly. I believe it was the word Bratz or Bratz Boys. One of those was spelled wrong. So this one came up, and so I had to buy this one instead. And when I found out about the other one, it was too late because I already had purchased this one. But I really don't care because I was spending the money anyway, and it wasn't really my fault. I'm pretty sure that if I would have found the other one first, I would have purchased the one that was most affordable. It looks like for the other one, the box situation was the same. The state of the box was the same. It was not that bad. It was just like this one. This one, however, I'm totally in love with because the box is spectacular. I believe the only problem we have, like I said, is the collector's card, the trade card for Cameron, which is at the bottom. It fell down. Everything else seems to be perfect. It looks like it has some wear and tear, but it's extremely minimal. It's extremely amazing. So I love pretty much everything about this purchase. Of course, at retail, this would have gone for a lot less money because it would have been not a collectible, it would have been a toy. So yes, I did spend a lot more money on him as a collectible. And more so because I purchased without finding that there were other options. But like I said, at the end of the day, I really don't care. I really don't mind. I am just very glad I was able to add him to my ever-growing collection of Bratz Boys that now seems to have stopped growing. I have put the brake on that one just because I've come to the end of my savings. And unfortunately for me, I can't purchase anymore. I'll probably start purchasing depending on the price and then depending on how much money I have available later on in the future. There's still some of them available at good prices. But other than that, I think that for now, it'll probably be mostly it. I have 2 more that I'll upload videos on before I actually start uploading videos on the Bratz vehicles that I purchased for the Bratz Boys. And so there's pretty much, I'm almost at the end of this. So I'm almost done with my collection of Bratz Boys. And I'm hoping that you kind of loved meeting all of them. But either way, this was a video for my 2008 Cameron from the Neon Pop Collection Inner Series. And I am just so excited to have added him to my ever-growing collection of Bratz Boys that now seems to, as I've said before a few minutes ago, has seemed to stop growing now. But I'm just so glad to have had added him to my collection, and now he's part of my Bratz Boys. And like I said, he's the sexiest, just like all the other Bratz Boys, the sexiest, the hottest, the most amazing. They are all the most amazing Bratz Boys on the planet. the best doll there is out there. There's nothing like them. So I do not regret one single bit having purchased most of them, or most of whatever I could get my hands on for my collection. Even if it meant that I emptied my bank account, who cares? So I'm just really thrilled. I'm really thrilled, and I cannot wait to upload my next video introducing you to yet another one of my Bratz Boys, one of the last 3, including this one that I purchased as a collectible. And but thank you so much if you drop by and you take a look at my video. And hopefully I can see you next time, so I can introduce you to one of my other Bratz Boys that I still have, that I'm going to include in my video collection. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.